Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let me say again, thoughts and prayers for Marcus Paul and his family and friends who passed away way too soon. 54 years of age, the Dallas Cowboys strength and training and conditioning coach. I always come out here, I come here every single day, man. Some of you think I'm crazy, it's like, oh man, why are you always talking about passing away or how much time you got and stuff like that, man? You got all kinds of time. Well, the reality is you don't know for sure. You don't. So make the most of each and every day. I keep telling you, make the most of each day, because when this day is gone, that's one less that you have left. So Marcus Paul, family, this is for you, man. Whew. I'll save that part. It's a sipping rum. It's not a shot rum. It's a sipping rum. All right, so tomorrow, the Dallas Cowboys take on the Washington whatevers in a game, surprisingly, that now has meaning. 2 weeks ago, when you thought about the Cowboys and Washington on Thanksgiving, the only thing you thought about was turning your stomach, the who cares bowl. But right now, whoever wins tomorrow, as hard as it is to believe, with this year being as bad as it's been, they will be in first place, at least until Sunday. Though if the Eagles win on Sunday, well, they retain first place. But yeah, we'll deal with the Eagles later on. But as we look at this, we literally got our teeth kicked in last time. Our defense took a team that was averaging 83 yards a game running the football and gave up 209 yards. Literally, we by definition were the slump busters. If you were a bad team in need of, some moral support and a feel-good moment, play the Dallas Cowboys, because, well, let's face it, we were slump busters. We make you feel good when you played us. But since that time, there's two dynamics that went against the Dallas Cowboys, and part of the reason why we ended up being so bad. Washington was able to run the ball 209 yards. When you can get that kind of yards on the ground, it makes the quarterback's job a whole lot easier. It really does, because you can play action people to death. They're so worried about trying to stop your run that when you do a fake run, boom, play action will eat them up. And the thing for us was, when we look at the numbers, they ran for 209 yards. We ran for 83. And FYI, Bad Dog was talking about one of these talking heads out here who was saying that the YouTubers steal their information and put it out there and we get paid for it. Well, you don't get paid that much from YouTube, FYI. And I do my own research. See, here it is. This is my numbers here. That game, we had a run differential. And I bet you haven't heard that before. Bad Dog, make sure you let that guy. A run differential. I think that's a new one, isn't it? I haven't heard that statistic yet before. But we'll see. The run differential for us was minus 125 yards. Washington ran the football 125 yards more than we did, and they blew us out. Zeke had 40-some yards, couldn't get out of his own way, and it was just bad. And because we became one-dimensional with Andy Dalton, they could pin their ears back, and they came after him, and they knocked him the F out. And we got the hell kicked out of us. We just got beat and demoralized. But since that time, things have kind of changed. And this is where the run differential makes a difference, because we played the Eagles the following week. And after getting blown out, Philly 500 and crew and all that figured, man, this is going to be an easy win for us. The Cowboys, they stink. We're going to double moonwalk on that ass, right? Okay. They got the win, but here's the difference. The Eagles ran the ball for 119 yards, respectable. We ran it for 133. We had the lead in the second half, and you could go through and say, there were some BS calls in there that kind of cost us the game because our run differential was plus 14. Plus 14. It was close. The game was close. We had a chance. We had a chance because we were able to run the football. Now, that was with Ben DiNucci. The next week against the Steelers, we went toe-to-toe with Pittsburgh. We had them scared. We're talking about a team that's 10-0. And for the Cowboys, we held them to 46 yards rushing, and we rushed the ball for 144 yards. We had Double G in there as a quarterback who played pretty well, and the game was in doubt. We had a plus 98. You could look at that and say, if the points the rush differential is right, you should have gotten that game. Well, we did better with that running. We came close, and there's no shame in losing to a team that hasn't lost to anybody in a close game. Last week, against the Minnesota Vikings, a team that had won 3 games straight, all in their division. The run differential was plus 55. We held Dalvin Cook, the NFL leading rusher, and that offense to 125 yards. It's not great, but when you think that you face the best running back in football, the guy that's keeping Kirk Cousins, paid because they haven't had to have Kirk Cousins win the games for him. We, on the other hand, ran the ball for 180 yards. Zeke Elliott's first 100-yard game. Tony Pollard, in limited runs, picked up 40-some yards. One big touchdown run in there. We were able to control the clock. Now, this isn't about the fact that all of a sudden Zeke Elliott just learned how to run again. What this is really about is the change for the Dallas Cowboys in the offensive line. Taking Terrence Steele out, we need to take that Steele and we need to take it to the scrapyard. Okay, let's recycle that Terrence Steele. Okay, because that Steele that's definitely scrap. Okay, but getting Zach Martin out there, getting Connor McGovern under his wing, he's literally under his wing. Zach Martin can let him know exactly what's going on from all those years of playing that right guard position. Looney, hey, me and Looney, I'm getting Looney hair. I'm getting Joe Looney hair. Okay. It's got a long ways to go, but it's getting like Looney Tunes. You're getting that, look, that, and the crazy hair. Yeah, Looney's playing well. Connor Williams is doing okay. And Brandon McKnight was definitely a help coming in as well. So you solidified the offensive line a lot better. You got Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard running, which made Andy Dalton's job better. He didn't have to go out there and win the game for you. He could play action and get easier throws. Still missed a bunch of them. We still are one of the top teams at dropping the football, but we were able to help control the clock and help our defense out. And when you look at the difference between the Dallas Cowboys when we played Washington 4 weeks ago, or 4 games ago, versus now, we are better able to control the run as well as run the football. And that's the reason why I look at this and say that, okay, this is not the same team that Washington faced in Washington, back October 25th. So I'm hopeful for tomorrow. It's football. Anything can happen. The Cowboys could revert back to what they were, a few weeks or so ago. But I actually don't think so. I think that probably the somber mood at Cowboys at the Star with losing Marcus Paul may be a motivating factor for them. I think as bad as this year has been, that there's a little bit of daylight that's trying to peek through. And I think that they're going to try and grab a hold of this. And it would be nice on Thanksgiving, because I'm going to eat my dinner early, if I don't have to toss my cookies because the Cowboys laid an egg against the Washington football team. Because I would love to be able to get back at my cousin Daniel and my brother Greg, who's a Washington fan, and all these Burgundy and Gold and Ed Oliver. And all, oh, man, I just like to be able to have a little bit of bragging rights. And at least for a moment, be in first place. So I'm hopeful for tomorrow. We'll be live streaming starting probably about 3:45, 4 o'clock. We'll be out here and definitely talking the Dallas Cowboys and carrying you through the game. So be sure be sure to join our game day live stream here on the Jobu Sports Report. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you being here. And again, Marcus Paul will miss you. I'll see you guys first thing in the morning.